Hello everyone, my name's Makelo, and today I'm gonna teach you how to win with the champ Hercule. First things first, let's talk about the stats. Hercule does have not the best stats, but pretty good stats. Every time you see a little those little star symbols next to the numbers, that is essentially that's what his damage stat is, but effectively you can make it more or less. Now, Hercule does have some pretty good moves. For rock moves, his standing charge key blast is a grenade. That is pretty nerf MUI. His moving charge key blast and the jumping charge key blast is just a rock, but imagine that as a worse for power type key blast that's affected by gravity. His normal key blast is a rock that doesn't make you super armor, has bad hit stun. He's also a 7 type C type, so he can do 6 or 7, so that's for the cost of 1 bar. And if you try to do chains, you can do around about 8 for the cost of 1 bar. Pretty nifty. Now, talk about his melee actions. Hercule, unfortunately, cannot beat 2 super armor against his opponents, which does mean when you're not in sparking mode, you're doing even less damage than before. Since super armor does give an inherent defense up by like 9% or some shit, this also applies to all of his smashes but one, and that is his right heart smash. Even his rushings are not safe. But the reason why the right heart smash does work is because, you know, it's not actually a smash, it's a projectile. Oh wow. If you guys are looking at it, it does have the projectile key streak, and here it is, boom. It's a rock projectile that he throws. This is the only smash type key blast that you can spam in the game, by the way. You can spam this infinite amount of times, even if the other rock is out. Now his rushings are 1 heavy finish, 2 ki cannon, 3 heavy finish, and 4 heavy finish. Yes, he is heavy finish the video game in a character. You guys thought Turles was bad. Hercule's Turles, but better. But Turles does have Blast Word, which is objectively the better rush. You know, I'm gonna stop talking. Let's not talk about how to go true super armor with Hercule. So obviously there is a perfect smash and the full smash that does obviously break through super armor. And as you see, the full smash does break through, but you do not need that much. All you need to break through super armor is a good medium charge smash, and it will break. This does mean you have to do a medium charge heavy finish, or a medium charge life sweep. And I think this gives Hercule so much fun in his combos, since it's all about working within the time limit of the medium charges and up. So the more you can really work in that time limit, the better Hercule becomes, in my personal opinion. So let me show you. You know, first things first, always remember, the sweep, this patch is kind of bad, but I do the sweep, I now do a heavy finish, I can now do ki cannon, which just does break through super armor without any charge. That's one of ki cannon's many gimmicks that is like it's unable to get affected by super armor. So it will just break through, it will break through that. English is not my best subject today. It's all about working with the timer, you know? Because you can just get a lot of damage in Hercule standards. Keep in mind, that's 2k73. Keep that number in the back of your mind. That's a surprise tool for later. Hercule also does not gain access to any follow-ups. That means no dragon homings, no vanishing attacks, and no lightning finishes. If you don't know what any of that is, the dragon homings are X, the vanishing attacks are the triangles, and the lightning finishes is the circles. If that makes sense to you, you are brain rotted. Please own the game. Hercule, also make sure my stuff is right. I'll put that next. Hercule cannot do rush high speed movements. I see there I'm mashing square and guard, nothing's happening. Now surprisingly, in this patch, when they removed the Frieza event, before that, Hercule would have lost key for even attempting doing rush high speed movements. So the devs did give him a surprise buff, which is kinda scary. Also, this is Hercule's grab, it's really funny looking. It looks pretty cool, I really love it. But yeah, he just can't do rush high speed movements. He also cannot do rush high speed movements return, but I say okay. Instead of doing rush high speed movements, you can just use the rush step. The rush step is where you just press square, then wait a bit, press X. It allows you to do a little mini hop away, and then you can press X again to continue your rush string after that step. This is really not too useful though. It's only useful if your opponent is spamming rush high speed movements, so you can just do rush step, square, right charge, smash. That's like but his good old fashioned immaculate skills like False Courage. False Courage does give you super armor against rush attacks and rush ki blast. No matter what the DP value is, unless they're a giant, their rush attacks and rush ki blasts will not break through your super armor. Of course, that is a bit of a lie, since if you're 10 DP, instead of waiting to the final hit to break through your super armor, it will only take to the 4th hit of your rush string to break through super armor. That does not mean a 4th exact hit, it means the 4th hit version. So whatever your final rush chain would be, is that. Also, super armor does not save you from the good old-fashioned ki blasts like smashes. Now, of course, one thing about false courage that it also does save you from very select rush chains, like only flying kicks. If your opponent is under 6 DP and they do flying kicks and you have false courage active, you are safe from that flying kicks and you can simply just charge up a smash in front of their face and send them flying like your Broly. Now, of course, we now have to talk about Hercule's better buff, Royal Remnant. For 25 seconds, you have a massive damage buff. Let me show you the damage increase. Boom, bang, 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 boom, boom, triangle. And you see, instead of now doing 2073, if you remember that, it now does 2970. This really does give Hercule a massive increase. And it's 25 whole seconds that this buff will last. And it's not just a melee buff. It's also... So I gotta waste up all my ki. If what makes this work is that Hercule is a timing speed type, so his ki does not cost, his short dash, his dragon dash doesn't cost that much ki. Also gets some ki recovery up. I was saying, what's ki recovery up? You see that little Goku symbol right there? That is ki recovery up. Now, if you have a number next to that symbol, like the number 2, which only Topo has, by the way, as a buff, your ki charging speed up is faster. So if you see no number, it's just the first 2 bars. If you see the number 2, it is ki charging speed up. And if you deflect the ki blast, it is ki charging speed up by like 50% and ki recovery speed up too. But no, you have to deflect the ki blast to do it. Like deflect the beam super to do it. Unless you're Dero, then you can't do it at all. Of course, let's talk about Hercule's ki charging speed. I see with the buff and without the buff, he charges ki very fast. The buff just makes him like that, super duper quick. Without the buff, it's so fast, but you're not getting into ludicrous speeds. But that's a-okay. Let's now also talk about the defense buff. The English, damn. Let's now talk about the defense increase that the buff gives you. I'm gonna put Goku on rush chains and he should start mashing. Goku, I put you on rush chains to do 4 squares, not your triangles. Now I'm gonna reset, you know, sometimes Goku has an off day, you feel? But yeah. Okay, Goku, that is just not nice, man. It's full square me. Actually, Hercule does take increased damage, which is around about 5.6k, which is the worst, which is the second worst in the game. This build does take even more damage at like 20% more. But with the buff, Hercule now does gain a bit of an increase. He now takes, instead of taking a full, okay, Goku, just want to talk to me nice now? Instead of taking a full 5.6k, that one takes 5k 53. Which, keep in mind, base Goku against another base Goku, this string that he's doing against Hercule right now does 4804, which means you're not losing, you're not taking too much extra damage. And of course, second you pop False Courage, okay, I don't know why I vanished. The second you pop False Courage and this buff, you do get an even bigger increase. Not only because you have a 4 defense boost, but because the super armor boosts too. So you're now taking 4 to be 40, which, yes, that is more defense than MUI Goku in singles. And we're assuming you're going to play Hercule in singles, because in DP, it's kind of the same but very different. Now Hercule does also gain access to Perception. And his Perception attack is the Perception Smash, or the Perception Counter attack, and if you press triangle, he gets the Perception Auto Smash Counter, which is essentially just like a teleporting medium charge smash, which you can charge up. It will always have the same knockback of a medium charge smash, but it's unblockable. Now, one unfortunate thing about Hercule is Not a lot of people know this, but he cannot do a super perception. Okay, Goku, come to me. Come to me, Goku. You know, Goku, you're just a bitch. Yeah, he cannot catch any single super perceptionable move. That includes rush chains, smashes, I see right here, I'm being bullied, and worst of them all, Hercule cannot grab revenge counters. Oh, whoops, I forgot, I gotta do a smash. I'm not in sparking mode yet. But yeah, I'm mashing circle, which is my perception grab. I'm just not getting it. Because Hercule, unfortunately, cannot get it. Which does mean characters... This does mean my characters like Hercule, Videl, and Pansy, all three of those characters cannot super perception. They are inherently fucked. Since you can just smash revenge counter on them, and there's nothing they can do. Now, of course, Hercule, you can do a glitch with him. He's the only character that is an exception to this rule, since that's Hercule's main title, is that he breaks the game. If you decide to do a falling square, like a falling attack, like if you are in super armor, like if you're in sparking mode and you decide to do a square, you'll fall below the revenge counter. Let's now talk about his supers. Let's talk about Dynamite Kick right now. Dynamite Kick is a really fun super. This is the only rush super in the game that can fail on you. For some reason, it's the only one in the game that can fail. I see it failed on me right there. And Dynamite Kick is not a 50-50. It's way different than that. This one will also fail too. I'm only saying this because it's not just a voiceover, because this map does have different RNG. Yes, every single map in this game does have different RNG for Dynamite Kick. This map though is a boost map, which means if you boost, you are more likely to win on this map than you are if you did not boost. And it's saying, wait, well, why? Because the boost adds on another coin flip. Now, of course, that does not mean if you spam boost, you're gonna win the minigame every time. No, no, no. It's just a higher chance of winning. So yes, doing this move is essentially a gamble. And a lot of stuff does classify as a boost, right? His buff is another boost. Which means it's a coin flip as well. So if you don't want to waste up the key of doing English file of wasting up 4 bars, you can just not do it. Of course though, you could also boost it while having the buff on. This is essentially just 2 extra coin flips on top of the base coin flip. Which does mean, yes, you will still have a chance of losing, but you're now getting 2 coin flips. But this does kind of negate the boost property of the other one. Does that mean you're like, if you don't boost, you're guaranteed to get it? It's just, if you boost and pop the buff, it's as if you didn't boost, since it's now 2 coin flips. Oh shit, wrong super. And all that matters for the game is that as long as the last coin flip affects Dynamite Kick, you know? Now, as you hear, if you do it in a combo, this is yet again another coin flip. Yeah! So if you have the buff on and you do it in a combo, that's now 2 coin flips like before. And you fail. Now, keep in mind, it's still RNG chance. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do, yet again, this, but I'm not going to boost it. This is now 3 extra coin flips. Which means my chances of winning are way higher. Now, speaking of chances, let's now talk about the map RNG. So first things first, Planet Dynamic. This is a boost map. This is a non-boost map, and does not change depending on what variant you are on. This is a non-boost, this is a boost map, this is a non-boost. All of City is a boost map. Yes, this even includes Cloudy. World Tournament stage with crowd, non-boost. Without crowd, with boost. Tournament of Power Arena is a boost map. Hyperbolic Time Chamber is a boost map. Land of the Kites is a non-boost map. Islands, all variants are boost maps. Cell Games Arena, evening and day are non-boost, and night is a boost. City Ruins boost, Detroit Dynamic boost, First Team World non-boost. Let's now talk about a secondary super. Present Bomb! Here's what remember me by. Now, Present Bomb is a really fun super. It's an unguardable, movable rush super which takes up 4 bars. The devs have been toying around this super so much, because they just can't get it right. You know, at first it was 3 bars and it had basically no end lag, so he was able to kind of spam it and he'll be safe on it. But now it's 4 bars and it does have end lag, so you are able to get caught by a revenge counter. But there's a chance where your revenge counter just fails on you. But yeah, that's kind of it for his supers. There's also one more thing about Dynamite Kick. I'll mention that in actual game though. Only appears in actual games. Now, Hercule in Sparking mode, his rush attacks are able to break through super armor. Yeah! Which does mean he no longer has the damage down from the super armor buff. He still doesn't do the best damage, but it's now an increase. By like a little teensy tiny bit. But this also now does allow you to utilize Hercule's best feature, and that is his RRCs. But yes, Hercule is able to RRC every single hit of his rush set 2, starting from rush set 2, attack 2 to 4. Which does give Hercule a lot of freedom in combos. Now let's talk about his ultimate. Also, I am just loving this ultimate. This is my favorite ultimate in the whole game. It's so cinematic, it's so good. Boo! Bro, that ultimate is just so good, bro. Like the camera angles, the panning is so good. I don't think not a lot of people like just know how good that ultimate is. It's so fire. It's also partially the reason why I decided to main Hercule. Now let's talk about his bombs. Yeah, I didn't say we were talking about his bombs, yes, but Hercule, like I mentioned before, pre-nerf MUI. His bombs are literally pre-nerf MUI soaring fists. You can loop them up to 6 times against normal characters, or against giants 7 times. But no, that is an insanely hard timing to master, since you always have to light charge the bomb constantly. So it does take a lot of time to learn, and it can only work from behind like MUI. But once you learn the timing, it's kinda consistent. Bomb loops are just a fun way to add on extra damage to combos, you know? Like, you got your opponent for sweep and go yourself, okay, I'm not gonna knock him away, I'm just gonna bomb loop him. And you can just bomb loop them away, and it'll do good damage. You know, like this. Like, if you do 4 to 5 bomb loops, that's 1 bar of ki gone. And it's really nice. Now, let's see, I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh yes, with Hercule, his smashes charge up so fast that he can do a full charge smash after a Ki cannon is unblockable and must be vanished. Oh whoops, too late. But this only happens when you have full attack momentum. With full attack momentum, you are able to break through it and your opponent cannot block it. They are able to step it on very specific smashes like your right charge smash only. But that is the curse of right charge smash. It's the slowest smash Hercule has, but it's only one of the rock. So take that as you will. Now, why is Hercule able to do this? Because the devs really do have a thing for making every character playable. I remember I heard Jun Fudanari once say, in this game we want to make it so every character can win. And also, yes, Hercule is incredibly plus if you decide to block his smashes. As Hercule is like, that's kind of like this game's main thing right now. This format, like the way the game is right now is perfect for Hercule. Since you would only go to perception cancel after blocking. Now, remember I said Hercule doesn't gain any follow-ups? Shit. I lied. He doesn't get a follow-up, and that's the illusion slash. The illusion slash is essentially just a ground slash after the air smash, the jumping smash. And I was saying, why is this useful? Like, at all? 1, Hercule is a non-flying character, which means yes, he's always falling, and 2, he can jump in mid-air, allowing him to do the aerial stuff. And if you're wondering why can't you do aerial stuff with normal characters, it's all because of non-flying characters, to give them a special funny. And one thing though, with non-flying characters, or jump moves in general, once you jump and use up the move, you can't do them again. Which means, yes, you can only do 1 jump smash before you have to retouch the ground, 1 jumping charge ki blast, and 1 jumping ki blast before you have to touch the ground again. Now, of course, there are some characters like Master Roshi, only him by the way, that does gain access to 2 jumping ki blast volleys. But it is a tight timing. Also, another thing with Hercule, when he enters sparking mode, his sparking mode does not push back the opponent. It does cancel out supers though. And I'll talk about the real fun of Hercule, and that is the unique tech stuff he can do in sparking mode. First things first, he also has the Hyper Smash and the Sparking Combo, which he can only do the Sparking Combo on the air combo finishers. Now, what is a Sparking Combo? It is this game's version of fast canceling your fast canceling your chain combos, which is like your heavy finish into delta heavy finish, or heavy finish into a heavy crush, or air combo into air combo finisher. You can fast cancel them straight into the super, and only in sparking mode. Now they do say you can do super into super. That is a lie. I have tried and it does not work. The devs are lying to you and they never made that work. Now, let's also talk about another fun thing with Hercule, and that is bomb loops into resetting ultimate. I was too early. Damn, I messed up. But yeah, bomb loops into resetting ultimate is Hercule's mainest, funnest gimmick. Since Hercule's ultimate goes at such a select speed, after a specific amount of bomb loops, you can just go straight into an ultimate and it will be a reset. Like here, you can do 4 loops. I perfectly timed that, I think, hopefully. Yep, perfectly timed. You can do 4 bomb loops and it goes straight into your rush ultimate. And this ultimate does reset. And it does do some pretty good damage actually. I mean, that's 9k plus damage right before you did do the bombs. Like right before you did ultimate. So it's just adding them on top. And you can bomb loop not just off of 4, but also off of 3, and it will reset. This note though, if you're going to do it off of 3, it is a little easier to vanish than 4. But 3 is a timing changer. I also messed up the reset there. But that's still good damage. That's 7.7k, which is more damage than what the ult would have done base, you know? So I'm going to do 1, 2... I'm ass. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Wait until you see those little like the shockwave particles or some shit. I don't know what you call it. I'm dumb. Wait. On the third loop, you gotta wait till the shockwave particles are at their apex, right before they start fading away. Then you go straight into the ult. And it will reset. Now note, that is if you want to get the false version of the loop. We're gonna talk more about that later. But you can also not bomb loop off of any other smash but the down safe smash and a heavy finish or a sweep. Now note, if you do a heavy finish or a sweep, it is also perfect. It is a different timing than if you did the down smash, since you will fall a little bit more before you do the bombs. It's just weird on how they do his falling mechanics in the game. Now, my favorite bomb loop to do is of course the 5 loop. As you do the 5, you gotta do your ultimate right before the 5 touches the opponent, and this does change up the timing. 1, it's harder to vanish than 4, it's harder to vanish than 3, and 2, it's harder to see your opponent. Like, your opponent can literally not see you until the last frame. So unless they have a handle on you normally doing the 5 loop, then they won't get it. Of course, you can also just do the 4 loop. Now, of course, Rush Set 2 does give a different on how to do the bomb loops. You are not bounded by doing just the down safe smash and the heavy finish and the sweep. You can now use the neutral safe smash, and that works too, but only on Rush Set 2. Rush Set 1, Hercule is too not accumulated to his opponent, I guess. I don't know, man. But he's too off-centered for them. But yeah, bomb loops. 1 does good damage. Like, that's basically 4k damage for the bomb loops, and against a normal character like base Goku, which has base damage or average damage, as I like to call it, 11k. So that's 15k per loop. And keep in mind, you can enter this loop so easily, since you knock your opponent back, you go straight into ultimate, you can key charge around about 3 bars before they have an action, before they have the ability to respond. Let me show you that right now. Actually, let me show you that right now. You know, so this is also the timer you have to do the loops. So yeah, it doesn't take that much of your sparking timer to do them. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4. I even did it a little late for you guys. See, doing 4 caught them right before they did a half turnaround. That's so you know you did the bomb loops just good enough. And keep in mind, like this is good damage. Key charge. My opponent still recovery frames. I recovered 3 bars of key before they had a chance to do anything to me. And then if they do anything to me, we're now in neutral safe ground. Like you're now in my zoning area. You can't react to me. Like you can't do anything to me during that scenario. You know. Now let's go back into sparking mode. And I'm gonna put my opponent on revenge counter to even show off that unfortunately Hercule's ultimate does have a major problem. If you guys were attentive enough, you would have seen it already too. Unfortunately, when Hercule does his ultimate, he does not lock them off. Which means yes, your opponent can simply just do a revenge counter after ult and you will have to take it like a good boy. He can lose off of literally all his supers, but Dynamite Kick, since when Dynamite Kick fails, it doesn't do damage or knocks him away, so revenge counter doesn't proc. So that's another mind game you can do with Dynamite Kick. Now, of course, even in sparking mode, Hercule can't do anything against the power of the revenge counter. You can't even rush step. You can't even perception it, like I mentioned before. And you can't even revenge counter it. Not revenge counter, vanishing assault it. Yes, revenge assault is an actual feasible method against revenge counter. Kinda. At least for Hercule it is. Since you can just wait the step out the way. But yeah, I tried to do revenge counter, and since in this latest patch of the game, revenge counters now have even more slowdown and freeze you in place, basically more or less. Devs, I don't think slowing down the game even more and freezing your opponent in place is a play, since mashing circle with normal characters will catch you off guard. Like you can just mash it and boom. But now if you also talk about how long Hercule can do his burst rush combos, keep in mind, this is the burst rush. It is the 9 hits you see right here. Does 2k 189. And you cannot cancel the burst rush into a burst finisher unless you're on your 6th attack. But you can just do 9 into a full smash, which just does do some pretty good damage. And you know, it does good damage. Look, that's half a bar for the whole loop. Of course, if you decide to do the 6 into the burst finisher, which you can burst finisher up or down, you're not bound into just one, but you will have to move the triangle and the 6 down too. I messed it up. Yeah, his burst finisher down, and keep in mind that is the latest you can do his burst finisher. Unlike every other character in the game, Hercule is the only character in the game where his burst finish ends early. But this does give him a way better ability of just simply not messing up and just able to enter his strings normally. He also does not have a violent rush. It does give him like good damage in sparking mode too. Oh man, the terrain coached me over there, bro. Now let's talk about Hercule's longest combo. This is Hercule's biggest, baddest combo. 1, 2, 3. Into ult, which yes, this does reset. I did it a little too late though, so my opponent was able to like semi-turn around. No, if they do hit the semi-turn around, they can key charge to not do it to make sure the reset does not work, so this does require even more timing than the normal. But that's 5k with no boost into 11k into like a 9k with no boost. So that's like 14k if you do the full loop. Also, if you decide to do 4 bombs, the combo will drop. For some odd reason, the combo will just drop for you. Reason why is because you do reach the combo limit for Hercule. He, like everyone else outside the 50 hit combo limit, that his moves do cost a little bit more than everyone else's for some odd reason. It's just the burst rush, which costs more. We can also do a snazzy reset off of the charge key blast into a down smash, specifically just down. If you do neutral, it's not enough range. If you do right, it's too long to happen. So down is the only one which can perfectly fit into that low time zone. But yeah, You can make this reset look even cooler if you time it just right. The reset will happen, and the combo meter for the old combo will stay up, while the new damage numbers for the new combo will happen. This is insanely hard to do since it is a 1-frame timing and takes way too much skill to do. And I can only do it while online and minimal delay. I don't know why I play better in delay than without delay. This game has terrible netcode settings. Also, as probably mentioned, Hercule's ultimate is movable. So yeah, you can move Hercule's ult. This also does mean you can do the bomb loops on 6. Since the bomb loops have a lot of freedom, as long as you do like more than one, you can reset the loop and it will be hard to vanish. The reason I don't do 6 loops is because 1, you have to move the stick in a certain way, it's always a strict timing, and 2, takes up way too much time of your sparking mode, so it's not always the best to do. Now, let's also talk about another fun thing Hercules can do, and that is evade the Z-burst attack. It is hard to show off here since my CPU buddy over here does not seem to be smart. You gotta hate when Goku's a little dumb, you know? Okay, Goku, do it? Yes. Alright, quick hastened. But essentially though, how it works, when you see your opponent do a Z-burst attack, a Z-burst towards you, and you know they're gonna press square triangle, which is who's on Z-burst and stand still, normally, they would. Hercule, all you have to do is just do your super or your ult. And while you're key charging, you'll just step out the way and counter them for trying to counter your key charge. Also, one thing I should mention, Hercule is pretty bad in lock-on. Hercule cannot sense ki, so you will see this gray silhouette. Normal characters that can't sense ki, that silhouette will be lit up. Yeah, Hercule can't sense ki and he can't sense 2 walls. But it's okay, Hercule does have a pretty faster lock-on than Dispo for some reason, only against instant transmission. Now, we should also mention one thing, MUI auto dodge does not trigger off of Hercule's burst rush finisher. It will only trigger if you try to end burst rush early, or if you do not mash hard enough. But note, the burst rush is not a true combo. So normally when you see an MUI not dodge after a RRC, it normally would mean it's a true combo, but not for the burst rush or the medium range vanishing assault. So Hercule can also use the perception cancel to its advantage to continue a combo off of his 5th string. This is the only way to do it, by the way. And it takes so much time. I also think you have to be like on the ground only to do it. It's just really hard and annoying to do. But it is something stylish you can do to your opponent. I mean, if your opponent is just willingly let you able to do it, hey, they're kind of dumb, you know? But they're just allowing you to just style on them like this. And I only recommend doing it for just style points. If you do it for anything more, you're getting cooked. But it does require you to frame perfectly, cancel your rush, your final rush attack, right circle touches his butt, and then cancel your circle by tapping it for 1 frame and start mashing. I also talk about Hercule can also beat these teleport supers. As you just like that. Hercule can just jump. So Hercule can just do his fucking his rush super, and since his backstep on rush supers have iframes, him and Android 19 are the only 2 characters in the game that share this ability, to my knowledge so far. He can just do the backstep and he'll be safe. Now, Goku. Also, one thing, if your opponent does have God Key, like Goku, it is incredibly hard to see him. Now, okay, this should be perfect. Do the super. Yes, Goku, yes. Why was my camera upside down? You guys saw that, right? You guys saw my camera went upside down, did a whole fucking tricks and flips. Kind of messed up my timing. I'm not gonna lie to you. But in a perfect world, Goku's gonna do it. You do your rush super, you counter them. And yes, saying, wait, what's the point of doing this when I can just clash them while charging into sparking mode? 1, my good friend, you are now losing sparking mode, and you're also giving your opponent 1 skill point for even entering the speed impact. I really feel like the devs should change it so you get the skill point for winning the speed impact. But that's just me though. Now let's see if I can make Goku. Did I pass it? Hold up. First recover Goku. I see recovered. Also, by the way, Presmom is not too hard knockdown. It used to be, but the devs fixed it. This was like way early game. Yeah, I'm now see if I can make Goku do his good old fashioned. There it is. Sorry, I'm blind. Do his good old fashioned Wild Sense so I can show you how to counter Wild Sense. Goku, talk to me. Oh my god, the CPU loves me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just not used to the CPU being good and immediately popping Wild Sense. Yeah, I see Hercule. As long as you do a sweep, a left strike, a melee, which is just your punch, or Z burst best attack, can simply just cancel those and lag straight into his Rush Super to counter Wild Sense. And or after image, it depends on the character that has after image. Like if they're hit, you can counter his after image since his rush attacks take too long to reach you. But only with Present Bomb. Dynamite Kick comes out too late and you'll get hit out of Dynamite Kick. Or just clash with him. Yeah, that's another thing with Dynamite Kick. It can clash with the opponent and it's kinda dumb. But that's because of the way they decoded it. It's the only Rush Super. Wait, no. It's the second Rush Super. Wait. It's one of the select types of Rush Supers that can't do it. I keep on forgetting that there's other characters with that same problem. Now we just gotta wait for Goku to pop his Wild Sense again. Come on, Goku, talk to me nice, man. Talk to me nice. I thought we were buddies here, Goku. I thought we were friends. I thought we were pals. Never popping Wild Sense, bro. Like, but nah. Essentially, though, like, if you ever see your opponent, you bitch ass, you bitch. I fucking hate you, MR Goku, popping Wild Sense while in the midst of my combo. While I did heavy finish too, so I couldn't reaction diff it. But yeah. If you see your opponent pop Wild Sense in the midst of your combos, just like use your sweep if you are gonna notice it, or just get lucky and use your sweep anyways. Since heavy finish and Ki Cannon are the only two moves in Hercule's K where you can't just cancel it into a step-in. Yes, you are not bound into doing for Pacific, very Pacific Rush Supers, very Pacific characters Wild Sense. You're not bound into doing just the super account, just into a super. Of course, every character in the game that has Wild Sense does have a different timing for Wild Sense. I don't know why. It could be animation or character diff. But the fastest character in the game, like the fastest Wild Sense character in the game is Cell. His Wild Sense comes out the fastest, which means against Cell, you cannot do your square into a super. You can't even do your sweep into a step-in. You are stuck into doing a sweep or a left strike or Z burst dash attack into a super. But against MR Goku, which has a pretty like average time Wild Sense, it's pretty slow honestly. You can just do all those and above. He pops Wild Sense. Sorry, I'm too locked in. I'm not letting Goku get the better of me this time. Alright, so now I see I do my angle diff. I do my sweep and I can just do a step in. It's pretty cool. And keep in mind though, every character that has Wild Sense but Ultimate Gohan has not that much end lag on his Wild Sense. But Ultimate Gohan does have the most amount of end lag on Wild Sense. Now it's like about Hercule versus Giants. First things first, when you go against Dynamite Hercule, you are moving faster on the ground. I do not know why, but maybe Goku, like maybe Hercule just gets like a little scaredy cat bonus and runs faster. He's now running full sprint. You know, like when you go against a lion or some shit, you're scared out of your mind, so you run faster. Maybe that's what's happening for Hercule right now. But you're like, just imagine him as a Flash for a second there. Yes, Hercule does not break true armor of Giants without sparking mode. This is to be expected, but he does not need to, since if you think about it, all Hercule has to do against Giants is to be close to them. You can also affect Giants with your perception attack. It's just like really hard to know what they're going to do since you cannot see the Giant, what they're doing most of the time, since the camera's too zoomed in. That could also be because of my camera settings being ass. Or it cannot be, you know, like who really knows? But against Giants, I do recommend just doing the air combo. The devs still have not fixed it where Giants are able to counteract the air combo. Unless you revenge counter right before you send them flying. Now, oh wait, I'm still in minimum. Hold up. Now, in sparking mode, this sort of stuff's gonna get real sad for Hercule. He still cannot break through the super armor of Giants. He will have to do a burst rush or a medium charge up super attack, smash attack. Remember how he was able to break through super armor before without sparking mode with other characters, as we talked about? Yeah. It's the same thing here. You will have to do those against Giants and characters that are Brody. Yes, Brody, and I think only Brody has that gimmick, or he still has super armor, and he's not like a Giant. So yeah, you have to do that against characters like Brody and the Giants. But one thing though, Brody is significantly harder to go against than Giants for Hercule, since with Giants against Hercule, you're just gonna be slimy, you know? Now, Giants do have a major flaw. So just look at that damage, 3k, 4k. And yeah, you saw it there folks. Hercule cannot hit them with his rush supers. This even goes for his rush ultimate. Now I'll finish you! Yes, that only did 900 damage. Now, if you guys remember, it's now possible for every other character in the game but Hercule to affect Giants with their rush supers. And it does do actual damage. Like I think about like for a Giant, it's like 4k. And yes, if you're using a rush super or a rush ultimate that's made specifically against Giants, like Beast Gohan's rush super, that wide open, it will do more damage now to make it more, I guess, unfair for the Giant player. But yeah, Hercule's the only character in the game that does not gain that advantage. I really like it. I personally feel like every character in the game should be like Hercule with how they do rush supers against Giants. Since it does make more special emphasis on why would you want to pick Beast Gohan against the Janemba when you can just play fucking MUI and just do your teleport super too. Now against Giants you can also do bomb loops. You can do 7 bomb loops against Giants. It is just that their timing is way different and takes way more time and skill to master. Back in my heyday I used to have it fully locked down, but I am not in my heyday. But yeah, as long as you get the timing down, you can bomb loop Giants. But like I talked about before, there's no point into really bomb looping them. It doesn't do that much damage, it only gives you good range so you can enter sparking mode, I guess. But you do not want to give Giants range, you want to be covering them, you want to be smoldering them with time. And yeah, like you can do a lot of bomb loops, but 200 damage per bomb loop is just not that much. But yeah, essentially though, the game plan against Giants is to never leave them and pray to God you have a full HP bar and they are at least 1 bar below you, so when timeout happens you'll win. Probably against just number though. When I was talking about Hercule's spot in the tier list, so the tier list one is up top, he's high B tier, and his matchup tier list, essentially though, for the matchup tier list, if you're a Z tier, Hercule is able to easily diff you, no problem, and your character kit is just so bad against Hercule, it does not work. If you're D tier like G Blue, Hercule is having a problem, and he will probably lose that matchup, if you guys are both equally skilled. Now, this is my match against the Bopra YT. Shout out to this guy, he is the #1 Giants player. Reluctantly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to call him #1, you know. I used to so I'm talking about way back stuff. Yeah, see, he's playing Janemba. The worst trying to play against Hercule. And we're having a pretty fair matchup so far. Well, I guess I'm playing more on the offense. But that's A-okay. Since you see right here, that is 7 bomb loops that he cannot react to. Like, he can't do shit against it. And I was able to enter sparking mode. Thank God he does not have like a step-in barrier when he does his Z-burst dash attack. And I did fail to Spanish. It's because like Giants do have the fastest Spanish timing in the game. But that's A-okay. Of course my opponent, the Bopra, is just not used to Hercule. having like not being able to break through super armor, so he does for a grab. Which if he was playing a normal character, like a normal giant, I mean, would work because the giant would just turn around. But Janemba is not a normal giant since Janemba does have 360 movement, like in BT3. One loop, and yes, I did hit him with the bomb loop from behind. This is weave. This is a Hercule exclusive mechanic. Well, this against Janemba, I mean. Janemba is such a fatty fat that he just can't do shit. Now, of course, Janemba is 60p, and when you see a giant in Instant Spark mode, be afraid. Because one smash is that's 7k damage, that's another 7k damage. That bot right, like that ultimate's never working on me, man. Like, look at that, intentional weave. Remember, everything you do against a giant must be tuned to perfection. This is me sweating my entire bloodline off, just to make sure I can counter poker. Now, one thing though, against giants are able to block your rush super and your full charge heavy finish. Heavy finish. Holy heck, English brain fart. They are able to block your full charge heavy finish, but now you're rolling hammer. So Hercule's kit is not really well against giants. It's just that the game has patched it so much that Hercule is just inherently kind of decent against giants. It's after facing such a massive blunder. Yes, again, another 7 weave, another 7 bomb loops in his face. Use my sparking barrier to save myself. We should have classed on that. I did my D burst. I used it. You know, this is just some gay. That's just some bullshit. And yes, you can banish Giants. What's this called? Giants revenge counter. It's just really hard to banish it. It takes way too much time and prep practice to do it. What I also like about Hercule is round start. With Hercule, even against a matchup like this, G Blue, holy heck, I'm losing this match guaranteed more or less. Unless I'm significantly more scared of my opponent. With Hercule, the matchup, well, the round start against normal characters is always this quick ace end, pop a buff, and charge in the spark. Oh, I even messed up my Z burst dash counter. Whoops. So yes, if you are too late on the Z burst dash counter, you will fail it and you will like jump below the opponent. It's an angle diff. It happens. And really, it's all about just getting your timing right. I mean, this guy, he was a little laggy for me. Trying to beat me with perception. What a dummy. Like, nice super counter. We entered a quick bandage war. Bandai? Why is he able to do that? So yeah. At least I was able to get a good punish with my ultimate, since I know my opponent's gonna be a little too aggressive. Most G-Blue players are overly aggressive, so you gotta play around that. You gotta be very counter focused with Hercule. Yeah. Let's talk about the round start with other characters. Oh, deflect back to you, buddy. So if you're going against a character like a character that starts off with 3 bars of key and is able to go instantly to a super, or a character that can explode the super off a round start, you still want to jump into quick ace and make sure you only use up half a bar for that quick ace end. Reset time, I was a little late on my reset. Holy heck, I'm so ass. And since I was too late on my reset, he was able to start key charging since he wanted to pop a barrier. Is this guy dumb? Yeah, if you're too late on your reset and your opponent's key charging, or trying to pop a skill, then the reset will fail, since they are able to do it the halfway turnaround and begin the key charge. If you do it before the halfway turnaround happens, you will get the reset and will do pretty good damage. But yeah, against characters like Kidaboo, for example, I recommend simply just charging, like literally jumping into a key charge, waiting for them to be aggressive, and never truly popping the skill until you are able to securely get them away from you to safely pop the skill. I'm gonna go for the reset one more time. Got popped the buff to make sure I get the win, because okay, look at that, immaculately read. Now I decided not to go for anything too fancy, and I was too late. Holy heck, I did the 5 hits too late. Holy heck, he did not pop it. Yep, he popped it yet again. This guy just loves barrier. Yes, this is a counterplay against Hercule. It's to simply just hold down key charge, because it will force Hercule to be more consistent with their moves. Hercule can still get the reset. You just have to be so hyper consistent and so perfect with your timing. Now, the reason I didn't enter sparking mode is because I know he is gonna most likely try to counter my sparking mode of his ball, and I did not want to risk that, since his ball would do big damage. But now in the intermittent part, no, we are just waiting for him to catch close to me. And also, yes, this is a tech with Hercule. This is a Hercule no flip jump. To do this tech, you just gotta like rhythmically tap the jump button while holding a direction on the stick. Right, now we're in the midst of just waiting for him to do stuff. He used 2 seconds. Bandai? Bandai, why did my stuff fail? That's just very unfortunate. Okay, I'm blocking right where keep in mind. I'm facing right at him. I'm facing right at him and I'm holding that block. How did he get my back? Bandai, how did he get my back, Bandai? Tell me how. I want a detailed explanation. I want a detailed explanation because that's the only reason why I lost. Is because he magically found a way to get my back on my while I was facing him. On the joystick, but like how? Like how? But yeah, this is the same guy over again. And last match, I did everything wrong. You know, I fumbled a lot, and he was able to capitalize on that. This match, though, this is my personal best match, and this is when everything goes perfectly smoothly. Oh man, he's really got on super counters. The net did get a lot better, did tighten up a lot. They were gonna hit him with a combo. Oh, he's immaculate at super counters, and yes, he did super counter. My combo timer is still going. The reason why is that if you super counter the first hit, the final hit of your rush chain, and the save smash, if you super counter one of those, you will simply not reset the combo until you super counter again, or until you win the Vanish War, or like if the opponent wins the Vanish War, then the combo will keep on going for as long as the thing is going. And I personally like that. I personally think super counter should not reset the combo in general. They should make it so like it will reset scaling but not the combo, and do not revenge counter Hercule's grab. I could have went straight into ultimate if I fumbled. And yes, against Hercule, if you revenge counter his grab, he can go straight into an ultimate or super with or without sparking mode. And it will be a reset. And there's nothing you can really do about it since you are stuck in timing. Now my opponent thinks he's a little smarty warty. He knows he knows super counter timing, so I gotta mix it up on him and go straight for the rush ultimate. Yeah, sometimes your opponent can just be a little too tunneled brained into wanting to super counter since they think you're gonna melee mash. No, you have to mix it up. You have to keep yourself always fluid. And look at him trying to do the super attack. I am not gonna risk that actually. You know, I was saying to myself, man, I'm gonna probably risk trying to do the thing. But no, this guy, he was a little too laggy for me, and I did not want to risk most of my HP and my green bar. Now look at him thinking he can do stuff, but unfortunately I step in sway, and I step in sway quick cancel. And yes, I see I was able to beat that wild sense he did with just a back step, because UI Goku has one of the slowest wild senses in the game. So if you're wondering yourself why you cannot wild sense, super counter wild sense consistently, it's because every character has a different timing for wild sense. That's something they just don't tell you. And yes, he did pop wild sense again, but he's super smart. Look at that. He now knows, okay, my opponent is gonna try to catch me on my wild sense. I'm not gonna have to sidestep stuff. And I would have been able to step that in if I was just a little bit better on my timings, or I was just decided to do a super. But it doesn't matter. I still win games because I got wall saved. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching and watching this marathon of the video. Hope you guys learned how to play Hercule through this. If not, comment below, tell me I'm ass. Bye bye.